All right. So for today's session, we are going to see some basic concepts of HTML. Once when the structure of HTML document is clear, we shall move towards the next concepts. Okay. So here you can see that there is one symbol called as HTML5. So whatever version, all the notepad editors and all the different uh, web development environments are using is HTML5. So they are using this HTML5. Okay, by default they are using HTML5 syntax. Okay, so we are also going to see the syntax of HTML5. That is the version of the HTML. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you what was the origin of HTML, or how the HTML exactly came into existence, right? So you can see that one person in my PPT. Do you know the name of this person? Anybody? Anybody knows this inventor or this person? The name of this person is Tim Berners-Lee. Okay. So he was the inventor of WWW, that is World Wide Web, which was started or which came into existence from 1989, right? So why they started this World Wide Web? They started this World Wide Web because, see, he was one scientist type of person, right? He was one software engineer as well as he was a researcher, right? So he used to work in university, and so many other scientists and researchers were also working in that university. So they used to face a lot of problem at the time of sharing the information amongst the universities and communities. That was the reason, okay, he decided to invent World Wide Web. Okay, he decided to invent World Wide Web to share the information, okay, or to automate the information. What do we mean by automate? Automate information means what? The another word for automate is what? Computerize. Okay, so computerize. Another name used for automate is what? Computerize. So in order to computerize that information and share that information, okay, and share that information, he invented World Wide Web. So he invented the concept of what? Internet. He invented the concept of websites in order to what? Share the information, right? So after that, after invention of that, he doesn't have any idea that the World Wide Web concept would become so much big that everybody would start using the WW, that is everybody would start using the internet to access and share the information. But nowadays, if you see that WWW, that is our internet, is a very vast media, right? It is very vast media for accessing, okay, and sharing, for accessing and sharing the information worldwide, isn't it? Yes. So the concept of World Wide Web was basically invented by that is Tim Berners-Lee, right? So he studied at Oxford University, okay, and he became a software engineer, okay, at CERN University. This is the name of one center in this university, one of the established physics laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland, right? So he graduated from Oxford University and he became a software engineer later, and then he worked on the concept of World Wide Web in order to share the information among the universities and all the scientist community, right? Yeah. So why did he invented the World Wide Web, right? And what was the main reason? Sharing the information amongst the universities and different scientists. So what used to happen when the information was needed to be accessed from one computer, they needed to log into that computer and access the information, because before the invention of World Wide Web, that information was available on different computers. So you needed to log into the computer and access the information because there was no internet concept. So that was the reason. Because of that frustration, Tim Berners-Lee, what he did, he invented the concept of World Wide Web, and he also invented the concept of HTML. So why HTML was invented? See, it was the sentence of Tim Berners-Lee. Well, I found it frustrating that in those days, there was different information on different computers, but you had to log on to different computers to get at it. Sometimes you had to learn a different program on each computer, so finding out how things work was really difficult. Often it was just easier to go and ask people when they were having a coffee. What this sentence means? Instead, in spite of availability of internet, so you needed to go to the special computers and access that information. So this was the reason he invented hypertext markup language. So with the help of this markup language, the information was grasped into websites. Okay, programming was written to develop the website, and then the websites were launched on this World Wide Web. So in this way, the Tim Berners-Lee invented, okay, or the Tim Berners-Lee made an invention of www as well as your HTML markup language, right? Now, let me tell you about some basic versions of HTML. You can see that currently we are using HTML5. Initially, there was HTML 1.0, okay? So this was the basic version, right? This was the very basic version which was invented to share the data and information, right? So this was developed basically to share the data and share the information. So students, those who have logged in, please enter your roll number and name. Every day you have to do that. Login ಆದ ನಂತರ first ಕೆಲಸ ಅದೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ, okay? So please enter your roll number and name into the chat box. Every day you have to do that. I will not repeat it again and again, right? I can see only few people have replied me in the chat box. So I want everybody to put your roll number and name in the chat box, right? All right. So this HTML5, invention of this HTML5 was not so popular, okay? It was not so popular because it was new and there were only limited web developers to work on this HTML 1.5. So after a few years, in 1995, okay, the higher version of HTML was invented and that was 2.0. This 2.0 worked from 1995 to 1997. Again in the 1997, W3C, that is Worldwide Consortium, it started working more on adding more features, okay? Yeah, they worked on adding more features. Yes, am I audible? Screen is visible. It is showing me some network error. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, screen is visible clearly, no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you. See, then HTML 3.0 was invented in 1997. Who worked more on it? W3C team worked on it, okay? And they went on developing some new versions, right? They compared 2.0, 1.0, and then what was not there in 1.0 and 2.0, they included that in the version 3.0, right? So what they went on adding the new data structures or new concepts, okay? So those concepts are nothing but they went on adding new tags as the version kept on developing. What they did, they went on adding what? The new tags, right? Later, after 3.0, also some versions kept on coming. So the other version which was invented was HTML 4.0, right? So this HTML 4.0, as you all know that every time the browsers, whatever web browsers we are using, right? Like for example, Chrome, okay? We are using Mozilla. All this always keep on upgrading their versions. All they keep on updating, right? All these keep on updating their versions. Why this happens? Because the programmings are also updating. The programmings are updating, and then to handle those updates, we have to update the browsers also. If there is a high level programming like HTML5, or you can say that jQuery, PHP, Python, if these kinds of programmings are coming with the new concepts or new updates, our browsers also need to get updated to execute these kinds of code. That was the reason. The main thing that came into invention was HTML4, and then after that they added again few more concepts, okay? So what concepts they added, I will just read it for you. Later you will come to know these concepts when I'm teaching you, right? So they added style sheets, scripting, frames, objects, right? So these are few features which were added to HTML3, and then the HTML4 was developed, right? Then the next version developed was HTML5. Okay, so HTML5, it is one of the standard now, which is handled by Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. So this is one of the group which works on especially on HTML language, right? So this HTML5 is also preferred by companies like Apple, Google, Mozilla, Microsoft. Okay, and then the final release of HTML was finalized in 2008 by this group. Okay, so W3C is also one group, right? All recommendations after finalizing has to be registered with the W3C only. So the update, this update brought again many updates to the 1, 2, 3, and 4 version, right? And after keeping on updating, what they did, this 5 became 5.0, it became 5.1, it became 5.2. Okay, so just the dotted versions were added. So till today, you can see that the HTML5 plus versions are used, and we also by default in Notepad prefer HTML version 5. Okay, so what we are going to learn with the HTML version is HTML5 for your work, right? For your practice also. All right, fine. Now, let me tell you what is exactly HTML. Okay, more theoretical part I'm going to discuss with you. So this you need to write when a question is asked, like write a short note on HTML, or explain the basic structure of HTML document, or explain the syntax, history, and versions of the HTML document. So the questions I will be sharing you today, two more questions we are going to add to your important questions today after the lecture. All right. Yes. So students, make a note that you are attending the lectures in the time, right? Put your roll number and name in the chat box, those who have attended late, right? Fine. Now, I will tell you what is exactly the division of this HTML. So as per today, you know that HTML is what? Hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. Each of these four have different meanings, right? So why it is called as a hypertext markup language, right? So basically, when you say that HTML, it is not only a language, it is a markup language. You can see that it is a markup language. Okay, why the markup language is needed? Markup language is needed by the browser, right? When you want to execute any code on the browser, okay, the browser can execute the HTML code very easily. That is why we use this HTML code for developing the web applications, right? We use HTML because it is easily executed on the web browsers. It can be easily executed on the web browser, right? So why do we execute this code on the web browser? We execute this code on the web browser to take use of text, images, and other contents to display it in the required format, isn't it? So when we want to execute the code may contain what? The text. The code may contain the images, audio, video, all different kinds of contents, right? So what is the basic aim of HTML? HTML code is written because browser will understand the code, and browser, what they are going to do? They are going to display the content, okay, of this HTML5 onto the screen with the help of, again, browsers, right? Now, what is hypertext, guys? What do you mean by hypertext? So hypertext means it uses the HTTP part of the internet. I already told you that when you want to run the HTML or web programming on the web browsers or the web servers, we need HTTP, that is hypertext transfer protocol. We need this protocol here, okay, hypertext transfer protocol, right? So we need this protocol when we want to run what? The HTML code on the browser. That is why the name is given as what? Hypertext. So why the name is given as hypertext here? All of you, please mute your mics. Okay. So what happens here? Hypertext means this is the text which uses the hypertext transfer protocol. Okay. This is the text which uses what? Hypertext transfer protocol. So that is the reason we are making use of what? Hypertext. So hypertext word is derived because we are going to run this code with the help of this protocol as a part of the internet, right? Now, what is mean by markup? So markup means what? The code you write, okay, is annotated with keywords. So markup means what? Important, okay, so which is of fixed format. So hypertext markup, it means what? The code which is written to get executed on the web browser with the help of the HTTP and has got its own keywords, okay. So when I talk about C programming, right, suppose if I talk about C programming and if I use some words like int, char, okay, struct, what are these? All these are called as what? Keywords. Do you agree? All these are keywords. All these are markups, okay. All these are called as what? Markups, okay. So why they are called markups here? Because we cannot change their format. These formats are already decided at the time of developing the language, right? Okay. So that was hypertext markup. Now, what is a language? Language is something which is understood by both the human as well as a computer. So basically, this language is our programming language, not our regular language like Hindi, Marathi, and Kannada. Okay. So this languages we are talking about the language which we are using to develop the web pages. Okay. So the language basically here is a language which is understood by both the human and by your computer. All right. So that is the reason we call it as what? HTML, hypertext markup language. So this is known as what? HTML, the code which is executed by the web browser and which takes help of HTTP protocol. Okay. Yeah, which has got its own formats, right? Now, so you know that whenever I want to write a C code, right? Whenever I want to write a C code, I write it like this. Suppose main, I take a flower bracket, I put some contents in this and I close it, right? So this is one basic structure, right? So this is one of the basic structure of writing the C code. So why do we write main in small only, or why do we write these empty brackets? The main function indicates that the execution of every program begins here, right? So why do we take immediately an opening bracket after the main here? Because it tells us that the contents of the main function should move here or should be placed inside this flower bracket. So why we use the closing bracket to indicate that the end of the code? Do you agree? Okay. So same way, our HTML also follows what one specific or a standard format, right? So that standard format, so you saw that here we use brackets when we are writing your C code or DS code, right? So the format which we use in HTML is tags. So these are called as what? Tags. We use something which is called as what? Tag. So we have two tags. One is the opening tag, okay? One is the opening tag, and this is called as what? Closing tag. Okay, this is called as a closing tag. You can see that here the opening tag is like this, greater than, okay, your less than and greater than symbol. Closing tag is followed by this symbols plus slash. You can see that this is a front slash. Okay, you cannot use any another slash. This slash is at the last second line on your keyboard. Okay, it is at the last second line near the shift. So this is called as what? Front slash, right? This is called as front slash. So what does it indicate? It indicates that every of your HTML code, right? It has two things. One is the opening tag and another is the closing tag. Okay, one is opening tag and another will be the closing tag. Clear? All right. Okay, see, it is mentioned here. Like any language, HTML comes with a set of rules. These rules are relatively simple. It comes down to defining boundaries to know where something starts and where something ends, right? So this is the syntactical part of your HTML. In this slide, we saw what is the syntactical part of your HTML, right? Yeah, let me tell you some more syntactical part of HTML. Okay, let us discuss or let us see some more detailing of your HTML document. So HTML, okay, that is hypertext markup language. You can call that as a file also, or you can call that as a document also, like C program. You call it as a C program, right? So for HTML, what you are going to call? You can call it as an HTML file or HTML document also, just like a C program. Okay. So what does this HTML document consist of? Suppose in the last class we saw one example, isn't it? I gave you one example on Tuesday's class, right? Yeah, so you can go through that video once again, those who have missed the class, right? Now, this is the part where my document exists. My HTML document or content, okay, will be between these two tags. So whatever content or document I have to place that between these two tags, right? So what does this document contains of? This document may consist of what? Content and markup tags. So I told you what is meaning of markup, right? Markup means what? The reserved words or the tags or C tokens, right? So markups are just like tokens. What C tokens? Every individual component of C programming is called as a C token, right? So what are markups here? Every individual unit of your HTML, every individual tag of your HTML is a markup tag. So I can include so many another tags. Few tags you have seen in last class, the like head tag, okay, title tag, right, body tag, right? So those are markup tags, right? So what does this document consist of? So our document will contain what? It may contain the content, okay, and some another tag. It may contain the document may consider different it may have different content like text, images, okay, and it will also have some different tags, okay. Yeah, is it clear? Okay, now see here, the markup tag tells the web browser how to display the page. So what structure you want to display on the page, that is decided by tags. Whatever structure of the document has to be displayed on the screen. What color of the text, what size of the text, okay, where you want to display the text on the web browser, at center, okay, or at the left side. Suppose this is your web browser like Google, right? And I want to display some content in the web browser. So suppose this is my content. So the code will decide where to display the content in this browser, whether I want to display at the top, whether I want to display it at the center, what will be the color of my text, what will be the size of my text. All these things, whatever you want to display on the browser, that is decided by your markup tags. Okay, you are going to use the different tags, okay, to design your web page, right? So the HTML file must be saved with .htm or HTML file extension. Already we saw this in the last class, how to save a HTML file. You can go through that video for more detailing. An HTML file can be created using simple text editor, right? So what editor we are using, guys? We are using Notepad++, right? We are using Notepad++. So this editor, what we are using is Notepad++. Or you can also use Notepad, no issues. You can also use Notepad, right? So these are the two simple editors which we are using, and there are also a lot different editors, but we are preferring what Notepad here for your study. All right? Okay. Fine. So, and again, once again, what type of HTML we are going to learn? We are going to learn HTML5. Okay? Yes. All right. So this is the structure. So when in examination, what we saw in the last slides, right? This is an HTML syntax, okay? And this is the history and origin, okay? This is overall the history and origin, right? So this is from here, the HTML syntax will start, right? And in examination, they may ask you explain the structure of HTML document. They may ask you HTML, or they may also ask you what XHTML, which we will see in the next session. So they may ask you only this question that explains the structure of HTML document, right? Okay. So this is the question which we need to write for your next assignment. Fine. Okay. So in the last class, I shown you, I opened the Notepad, I created one file. And in that file, I also told you what is the content of head, what will be present in the body tag, what will be present in the HTML tag. So today we are seeing the theoretical part of that. So whenever you open a Notepad++, right, you create a new file and you start writing the code with what? HTML tag. Then we can include the head tag, okay? And in that head tag, you can also include some another tags like title, script, link, style, and meta tag also. Okay. So why do we need a head tag? I told you in the last class also. This contains the information about the HTML document. So head tag will provide the information to the web browsers. So what kind of information this head tag will provide to the web browser, such as the title of the page, version of HTML, and metadata. Okay. So title of the web page, why this title of the web page is used? It is used by the search engine. The name of your web page is used by what? The search engine. So title will appear in the URL as a name of your web page. And by that web page only the search of the page can be made. That is the reason your title tag also plays important role. Then version of HTML. This head tag will also tell us which version of HTML is being executed by the web browser. Then metadata. So we saw metadata, right? I told you why metadata tag is used. So meta tag is used because it includes some information like what type of language you are using for designing your HTML. So the default metadata which we are using is a char set ISO 88591. So what is this international standard organization? We are using the UK or US English language for this HTML code. We are typing all our code in the English language. So this char set will indicate what type of language you are using to design your HTML web page. Okay. Then comes what? The body tag. Okay. So this contains everything you want to display on the web page. Okay. Your body tag is needed to display everything on the web page. Whatever you want to display on the web page, everything must be included in your body tag, right? So the first tag which we take, right? The first tag which we take is the comment. Second is the doc type, and then third will be the HTML. And in HTML, you can cover all these other tags. Okay. So what does this indicates here, guys? This is an opening tag and this is a closing tag. So once when you open HTML, you can take a head tag. Okay. And inside that head tag, you can take all these tags. Okay. You can take all these tags, right? So this is the way the basic structure, okay, works, right? Is it clear? So when in examination, the structure of HTML document is asked, okay, we have to focus on this. First is the HTML document is mainly divided into two parts, head section and your body section. All right. Okay. So we will see this. I can see that only 3 minutes are there. I will quickly complete this. Okay. Yes. So this is the document structure which we saw with the Notepad++, isn't it? So when I open a document with Notepad++, this is a comment. Doc type file is just like a header file because we are writing the code for what? HTML5. HTML which contains of head tag. Head tag contains of title tag. So just close the title tag because it is present in the head tag. Why to close the title tag here? Because the title tag must be closed or must be included within the head tag, right? So immediately after the completion of all other tags which are a component of head, complete the head tag, right? And then only move towards what? The body tag. So whatever content you want to display on the web browser, everything comes into the body tag. So this is how we write a code with the Notepad++, okay? Suppose I want to write a code using another editor, okay? So I will tell you what is that editor, right? When we go for this, that is, just a minute, I'll tell. So this code, whatever we include, right? So this code is with the web development IDE. So there are ready-made tools and this code is generated by default in that ready-made tools, okay? All these code are generated by default into the ready-made code. Ready-made tools. So one of the web development IDE code it is. Okay. So I will tell you how this code is generated in the next class, right? So just see now. So this is also one more header. This is the first header which is generated by web development IDE. Then we have HTML. We have head. See, this is the meta tag. So meta tag is also generated by this web IDE, right? Content type, context, that is content, HTML, char set. These are the three attributes, okay? Then closing of title tag, closing of head tag, and then body tag, close the body tag, and then close the HTML. All right. So this is some part of structure of the HTML document, right? All right.